My name is Homer Cheney. I'm a coffee equipment technician based out of Nashville, Tennessee. I really enjoyed the coffee scene, the culture, the inspiration that comes out from there. It's good meeting the minds, and so I got involved in the coffee community and mixed that with my interest in mechanics and engineering and working with my hands to support an industry on my own terms. When you walk into a situation that's high stress, shops are in the middle of a busy day, busy rush, everybody's wanting a drink, and their machine goes down. So they call you, you jump into that machine and start hammering away. So I always make sure I have a Fluke with me. It's intuitive. It's the kind of things that make you feel comfortable and confident in its use. A lot of times they don't stop for you, everything else keeps going. You open that machine, you get inside, you do your troubleshooting, button it up. Sometimes people clap. When you have a lot of work put into the beans that then go to the baristas who are supposed to craft this and extract this product, there's a lot of pressure. The equipment is getting more advanced, demands are getting stronger. There's a lot at stake. There's reputation, there's money, there's opportunity. These professionals have to be tight. In certain circumstances, if you're just off by 1-2 degrees Fahrenheit, you have now lost the flavor profile that you're shooting for. That could be the mechanism between success and failure. So when these shops rely on you, there's a lot behind it. If your tool's not the right caliber for the job, it's going to cost you or it's going to cost the people that you're trying to help. When you're in the field and you're troubleshooting, you want the information there, quick, easy, and reliable. We're working with live voltage. We're working with low volts, high volts. We're working with single phase, 3-phase, big amps, small amps. That stuff can hurt you. So safety and reliability, that's what I think about when I grab those Flukes.
All right, welcome everyone. Hope you are doing well, and hope also that you can hear me and the audio is working well for you. So welcome again to this new webinar, which is a Fluke 72 years of innovations, which is a webinar hosted by Energy and Utilities. So during this webinar, we'll go through different innovation, different new products from Fluke, and different solution for different applications. Your host for today, it will be Aziz, Abdulaziz from Turkey, who is area sales manager. And also if there is any question, he will take this part and he will try to answer those questions. Also with me, my colleague Hendrik, which is area sales manager for Sub-Sahara Africa. He will also go through the presentation and he will speak mainly about the new product and the different application and the different solutions that we can offer. And also myself, which is Amin. So I'm technical and key account manager for the Middle East region, and also working as a field application manager for the Middle East region. Our agenda for today, we'll go through introduction to Fluke. We'll see different corporate overview, why professional like you use Fluke. Fluke Industrial Group introduction. We'll also see the different pillars that we have in Industrial Group. Also, we'll speak about the Fluke innovation, which is the II910 and the precision acoustic imager, and also the motor drive analyzer 550. My colleague Hendrik will go through different use of the MDA, but also how easy to use this motor drive analyzer, which is a scoop meter, but also we have this drive analyzer function. Also, another innovation from Fluke, which is a Fluke 710, which is a milliamp loop valve tester. So this product, it can make the 420 milliamps calibration, but also it can also make the air operated valve. So Hendrik also will give you more details about that. How does Fluke keep the world up and running? We'll speak about instrumentation, fault finding and calibration, electrical and mechanical screening and diagnostic technologies, connected teams with Fluke Connect platform, and also at the end we'll have the Q&A session. So without any delay, let's give you an idea about Fluke. So Fluke is more than 72 years old, with more also than 150 tools for different applications. And we are more than 4,000 employees worldwide, represented also in more than 100 countries. For the patents, we have more than 4,097 patents, where we Fluke owns these patents, and it's mainly for new innovation or a new product that Fluke have. If you go to our website, so we'll have different blog articles, different videos explaining how to use product, or some technical information about the product. But also we have an online courses where you can also attend this online courses for different also applications. A nice this is my nice part, which is the application note. So we have more than 789 application note for different product, for different application. So go to our website, check the application note, and maybe your application will be, or we will have already note about it. On-demand webinars, we have recorded session for webinars. We have also on-demand webinars. So if you want Fluke to organize webinar, different theme or different applications, so just let us know and we can organize those webinars. So why professionals like you choose Fluke? It means every Fluke tool is built around one solution, which is you, our end user. But we are not just providing tools, solution for tools, but also we are providing academic solution. So we are organizing a local hands-on seminar and training or webinars program, product evaluation, and application notes. Also, we have a solution part, which is for preventive maintenance, energy, and online solution centers. Also, part of the product, we have the products and services, which is the technical support, customer support, lifetime warranty for some products, calibration repair, service center locations in different countries, software updates and downloads, and recycle program. So for the Fluke Industrial Group, it means, which is a Fluke IG, is the world leader in design and manufacture of electronic and test and measurement tools for industrial technician, manager, and engineer. And you can see on the graph down the field of application where we can use, or where the most used Fluke product in different verticals. So you can see here it's used in utilities with 31%, oil and gas 12%. So our tools is mainly present in different verticals, different application, different activities. So if you are coming from utilities, if you are coming from oil and gas facility management, so you need to use, or you should use, one of our Fluke product. Product and application, and let's say that Fluke Industrial Group is mainly divided in 3 different pillars, which is service installation tools, advanced diagnostic tools, and industrial imaging tools. For the service installation tools, we have the screening of assets and tool belt. And when we say screening of asset and tool belt, it's mainly digital multimeter, clamp meter. We have different ranges. We have also different ranges and different use of those tools. But also we have electrical testers, earth ground tester, insulation tester. So if you are looking to check the earth ground of your facility, and also the insulation of your motor, for example, so you can use one of our products. We have also on that part, we have the installation tester, which is multifunction tester. So it can be used to detect the volt amps, but also to use as earth ground tester and insulation tester. Also, we have some portable appliance tester. We have indoor air quality tester for HVAC applications, insulated tools, which is new from Fluke also. And also we have the cable localizer. So if you are looking to localize a cable, you can use one of our products. For the advanced diagnostic tools, my colleague Hendrik will speak more about those products. I will give you more details about where you can use it, how you can use it, and the different features that we have. Also, the industrial imaging, which is mainly for thermal imaging and sound imaging. So also we'll speak about it. We'll speak through those products, and we'll give you more details about those products. So Fluke Innovation assists customer with most efficient and comprehensive condition assessment as assets in the field. So I will give Hendrik. So Hendrik, my colleague, he will start and he will continue the presentation. And if you have any question, you can write your question on the Q&A session part, and we'll go through those questions at the end of the webinar. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon and good morning to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to do this overview on the advanced diagnostic tools and the industrial imaging portfolio of Fluke. And also, I'm going to take you on a small journey. And first, we're going to talk about the new innovations from Fluke that we launched in the last year and a half. So yeah, sit back, enjoy. So the first innovation that we are very excited about, that's being used quite widely in industrial and commercial and electrical environment, is the ultrasonic visual measurement tool, which is basically a tool that looks like this. And we've got a patented technology that's called SoundSight, meaning we've got 64 ultrasonic microphones which listen to sound with a high definition video camera, and with a processor in this unit, we can make sound visible. So basically, if you look at these three photos, you'll see on the electrical application here, we can actually detect partial discharge. So we actually make the partial discharge, the electromagnetic wave, we pick it up as sound, and then with the high definition video camera, we can now make the sound visible from the array of microphones displayed on the live image. As you can see, we can do it for electrical assets. We can do it for any type of asset, like this is a gas leak, natural gas leak on a storage facility. And what is very good about our technology, we can quantify as well. So why is this product good? Number one, we've got a SoundSight patented technology from Fluke in the industrial imager, which is the II900 or the II910, which is a precision acoustic imager, very sensitive. We can then detect partial discharge, which is typically electrical-based discharge. We can then detect gas, vacuum, and compressed air leaks. And as you'll see later, we can also do mechanical bearing ultrasound. So any sound-based detection can be done with this ultrasonic precision acoustic imager. So the big benefit is we can quantify, meaning if we are measuring partial discharge activity, like on this transformer, we can actually do a partial discharge count. And based on that, we can quantify the actual severity of this, this partial discharge, and also the type of partial discharge that is actually present on the asset. On the gas and air leak detection, we got leak quantification, which if you see this photo, we measure the distance, and we've got a severity scale built into our unit. And the reporting is quite phenomenal on the product. It connects to our Fluke Connect cloud-based system, where we've got a database where we can store all your images, and we've got AI-based partial discharge, and leak quantification algorithms running in our equipment. So gas and air leak reporting and partial discharge reporting, and for mechanical bearing and ultrasound reporting. So it's a very nice new technology that actually makes sound visible to you as the customer. Very quick screening tool. If you look at the second product, most of the industry has got motors and drives. So this is a typical installation where you've got a supply, a three-phase power supply coming into a drive or a variable speed. It's a system where we actually take the AC current and AC voltage. We do some modification in the drive itself, and now we can do variable speed to this motor, and we can control an application. So obviously this is a very complex system to test because the motor drive has got quite a lot of components inside, and like the input, the actual DC bus, output, motor input. So there's quite a few parameters you need to be able to test. So what Fluke has done is we built the Fluke MDA 550 motor drive analyzer, which is based on our Fluke 190 scope meter platform. Most of you will recognize this the shape. And what we've done is we actually built in automated measurements and automated reporting. So how does this work? So you will physically select a test that you want to do. The test has been pre-programmed, so you select the test. Then the unit will show you how to connect the actual current and voltage probes. You will then get an overview on the test that's going to be done. And then basically the test is done automatically with automatic parameterization of this test, and then you store the information. So this is very good for troubleshooting in plants where you've got lots of variable speed drives and you want to make variable speed drive testing part of your preventative maintenance program. And as you can see, it's a 4-step system, so you can really optimize motor and drive troubleshooting. The third product we want to introduce to you is more in our process tools portfolio. If we look at air articulated control valves in the field, this is typically an example. There's quite a lot of them on customer sites. And what we've done is we've built a specific tester called a Fluke 710, also called a milliamp loop valve tester. So this unit is developed to do quick testing with some key testing functions like basically signature test, which you can see some graphical information here, speed test, step, manual test, bump, and partial stroke test. So these are tests that's very important to look at aging of the actual actuation of this valve. Then we also got software. As you are doing the testing, you can now download the information on all these different tests, and you can generate reports on a PC-based platform that's available as well. On the multifunction, this is also a milliamp loop calibrator, which can do sourcing, simulation, reading of the actual milliamp value, and then we can do loop power as well, and some voltage as well. But what's nice about this unit is got HART protocol enabled, so all the testing that we've indicated here can be done by connecting onto these valves via the HART protocol, and then it's an automated test. You just select the test, and the test is done. So if you want to do a stroke or partial bump test, you can do that by connecting via the HART protocol, connect to the device, and then you just do your test. And nice software that can actually help you to do a very good report based on the OEM specification and the measurement that you've done. Okay, so the question is, how does Fluke technology help instrumentation, electrical and mechanical teams to keep their plants up and running at peak performance? So there's a few things we want to tell you. So first, we want to start with instrumentation. Typically, if you look at process calibration, we've got some tools that can help customers to maintain instrumentation accuracy in the field. Meaning, you should ask yourself the question, is the system inaccurate or is it broken? So based on that question, you have got two paths that you need to go to. If it's broken, obviously you need to do fault finding. And if you do fault finding on an instrumentation system, most of all, you're going to do loop troubleshooting. You're going to maybe look at a transmitter function. You're going to maybe do a sensor test or a control system input test, which is also sometimes 4 to 20 milliamp or voltage based. If you've got inaccuracy, it means you need to calibrate. Then you need to find and minimize errors. So here you will do loop testing, you'll do some transmitter adjustment and sensor comparison. So this is a calibration. So as found, as left scenario. So what tools are available in this portfolio? So the first step would be troubleshooting. We've got some process multimeters that's got some loop function, but it's a fully functional multimeter. We've got loop clamps. We can measure 4 to 20 milliamp voltage. But what's unique about this unit, it's got a small clamp that can directly clamp on the cable to basically measure 4 to 20 milliamp loops. So you don't need to break the loop. You can fault find without interfering with the operation of the control system. And in this, you can do simulation measurement as well. Then we've got the valve track tester, which is the 710. And we also got some multifunction testers in this troubleshooting portfolio available. Next is the single function calibration. We really want to do loop. So if you specifically look at loops, milliamp loops, then we've got temperature for RTD or thermocouple and pressure. So depending on what pressure you want to work on, we got with built-in pump and with hand pump. And then if you go higher than 20 bar pressure, then typically we've got modules available up to 690 bars. If you then look at the multifunction calibrators, we've got non-documenting, which does RTD, thermocouple, your pressure, and then also your types of multifunction calibrations you want to do, like milliamp voltage, so resistance. So there's quite a few parameters you can calibrate. And then we go for the documenting calibrators, which typically will document the as found, the changes as done, as left, and it can do it via HART protocol as well. Last but not least, we've got the digital calibration. We connect to software, and we've got our test, the documenting multifunction calibrators that you use in the field that will then receive calibration data from the software, what needs to be calibrated, at what parameters, and then when you are finished, then you download the as found and as left calibration done in the field back into the software. So then you can do some nice calibration reports. Okay, so with this, there's also software. So the process calibration software ensures traceability from your field instruments to your laboratory standard, meaning there's handheld multifunction documenting calibrators do get calibrated by Fluke calibration higher level accuracy devices, and they are also then calibrated by a standard. So there's a full traceability. And as you can see here, there's some PCT here where we've got a dry well where we are physically testing some temperature on a probe to a documenting multifunction calibrator. So what is important? We need to first manage the test instrument, the documenting calibrators, to see when they need to be calibrated to maintain the chain of calibration to the standard. The next thing is you're going to use this calibrator to actually calibrate an instrument in the plant. So you're managing your plant assets. So here typically you'll do loop testing, transmitter adjustment, some sensor comparisons. And then last but not least, you need to be able to manage this calibration. So you need to be able to manage the calibration of the actual calibrator, the actual calibration cycle of the instruments, and you must have traceable calibration reports as well. So this is what the DPC track software brings to the table. So that is the software that you use to manage your actual documenting calibrators, and then also your instrumentation in your plant. Okay. So next is electrical and mechanical condition monitoring. So with this, Fluke tools can assist you with condition monitoring for the full life cycle of an asset. So what is the life cycle of an asset? Typically, if you look at this graph here, or this chart, typically you'll see there's a good and a bad scenario, which is then based on color, the condition as it's deteriorating. We also got a defect-free period. So you install this new motor and pump combination. For the first year, 2 years, everything is good. But then you'll start to get aging on the bearings, on the electrical windings of the motor. So obviously you've got a potential of failure and then a functional failure. So functional failure meaning the actual asset cannot perform the task anymore. So as you can see, we go down a path of aging. And as we go down this path of aging on the asset components, we can typically use ultrasound, vibration, and temperature to actually determine what is the severity of this actual potential and functional failure. So what technologies do we have? So first we've got you've guessed it, the ultrasonic screening device, the II900 and II910. Remember, sound-based visualization, which is in the indicated here. This is a conveyor. We've got a bearing on a roller that is actually starting to fail. On the electrical asset here, which is a insulator, we can actually determine that there is some activity there, partial discharge activity. So first, ultrasound. What is the second level? Vibration. So with Fluke, we've got the Fluke 805 and 810 for vibration screening and analysis. And typically, if you look at an installation like this, we've got a pump with a motor and you've got a coupling in between. There's certain points here that you want to measure, and typically you want to measure vibration over the bearings. So that will give us an overall picture of vibration and if it's good or bad, and where does this bad vibration come from. Last but not least is temperature. So Fluke has got a comprehensive thermal imager range, starting from a low pocket thermal imager to a professional series and a tablet type professional series thermal imagers. So typically here we will look at mechanical, as you can see, a bearing, and we can look at problems on motors where maybe we can see some electrical problems, like this can maybe a harmonic distortion coming from the supply, or this can be that the actual windings of this motor is starting to fail. Abnormal high temperature on this motor windings. So let's deep dive a little bit. So let's look at ultrasonic. So on the ultrasonic side, we're going to refer back to the precision acoustic imager. And what's nice about this technology, you can use it for electrical, mechanical, and compressed air and gas applications. So let's deep dive a little bit. If you have a look here on this photo, this is a photo I personally took in South Africa. This is a transformer, 132 kV transformer system, substation, and we picked up some problem here on this connection. So what's nice about the Fluke II910, it can actually do partial discharge measurement. So this actually measures the actual events per second happening on the sinusoidal wave. And because we are using 64 very highly sensitive microphones that detect from 2 kilohertz up to 100 kilohertz, we can basically detect this activity, and now we can quantify it. And we can then, with reporting, as you can see here, with a report, we can then basically tell you what type of discharge is this. Is it external, which is coronal arcing? Is it internal? Is it tracking? Or is it another type of partial discharge? If we look at the actual application for mechanical, we can pick up bearings that's starting to fail because they will start to emit ultrasonic sound. And typically this is problems with lubrication or aging of this bearing. And then, as I said, any other electrical asset, medium, high, low voltage, will be able to pick up partial discharge activity. The big thing for most industrial customers is compressed air. And typically this is an example where we've got a compressed air leak, which we detected just on the threaded connection of this tap. And now we've measured the distance and the severity according to our artificial intelligence scale. And now we can tell the customer, which is you, what is the estimated leak rate and what is the actual cost of energy wasted because of this air leak. Because you must remember, you must generate that actual compressed air, and the standard worldwide is 30% of all compressed air generated is lost. So this can help you to optimize the compressed air system and save energy, which is a saving that becomes a constant saving. It's not a, and that is one of the things where we say this precision acoustic imager must become a key part of your preventative maintenance or asset condition assessment program. And all because of this tool here, the Fluke II900 and the II910 Precision Acoustic Analyzer. Okay, so let's look a little bit at vibration. So if you look at vibration, we've got the screening tool, which is the Fluke 805, which typically will look at bearing condition and overall vibration of the total installation. So if you've got that pump with the actual motor with the coupling on a skid, so it looks at the overall vibration as well. And as you can see here, as we take measurements as preventative maintenance every 6 months, every year, we start to build a library of measurements which will show us the aging over time. So typically this is the actual measurement according to the ISO standard, where you can see the first 2 years it was good, the next 2 years we had satisfactory, then unsatisfactory, and that means, hey guys, we now need to plan some more advanced testing, or we need to plan the actual replacement. And we can then do this graphically as well. So this is a really good tool to start to do screening on vibration. The next level will be the Fluke 810, which is a little bit more advanced. It actually does triaxial based vibration measurement. And this has got a library built in of types of applications. So in this case, we were doing a water pump, and we've detected 6 problems here. And what I like about this, it tells you the severity of the problem. So this is extreme. It tells you where the problem is, and it will tell you what type of problem. So while you're in the field doing your scanning, you can basically detect problems and start to plan the rectification immediately. You can also extract the data graphically like this. So typically this is the motor imbalance that's taken over time. This is the bearing on the fan side, and this is the load side bearing. You can see the deterioration of this bearing over time. So this will really help you with in-depth analysis on different types of assets and the aging or the actual severity immediately in the field. Most of our customers usually have got alignment issues with motors and with their actual mechanical loads. So Fluke has got an 830 unit, which is a laser alignment system where we can do vertical and horizontal alignment. And again, as you can see, the severity scale gets pulled through to the Fluke 830 as well. So what's nice about this unit, it's got Bluetooth connectivity, and it's a fully intuitive unit where you don't need external software. You can basically set it up, do your test, and even print from the unit directly to a printer or onto a USB stick. So just remember, guys, vertical, horizontal offset measurement, gap and offset measurement. And then what happens is, as you are doing the rectification, you can do the test, and basically when the test is done, you can do a verification report. So the as found, as left report can be done. So that is on the mechanical side, guys. Okay, so thermal. So thermal is a very good tool to use in multiple applications, guys. So I could not classify thermal. I had to show you all the categories. So the first category is electrical. So in electrical, we've got power utilities, we've got customers with substations, we've got customers with installations, which typically is distribution board type. We've got motor starting, electrical distribution, and this can be at any voltage. It doesn't matter what the voltage is. We want to look at problems like you see in this photo. We can see there's a problem on this third phase here. There's high temperature on that phase. So now we want to use a different technology, maybe, which we're going to discuss later, like a power quality analyzer, to see, hey, do we have voltage and current imbalance here? So this is the first step to identify if there's a problem. Then you look at the mechanical side, as you know, bearings and shafts and some friction-based, you know, where you've got something that's got friction. Multiple processes can be tested on the mechanical side. But then you've got something special. It's called the electric motor. It's an electromechanical device. You've got electrical energy that you put into the device, with a winding system. And then you got mechanical power torque that comes out of this motor. So this is the little special one for us, because electric motors are used in most environments. Next will be your processes and operations. Typically, if you look here, we've got a kiln of an actual cement plant. We can see there's no uniform heat, so maybe there's a blockage. This is a photo taken from a distance. Tank levels, typically you can see the tank level there. We've got gas and fluid. So any type of process and operation, we want to look at temperature-based measurement. Building diagnosis. Obviously, if you want to look at the actual leakage of heat, air conditioning systems, window panes, actual insulation on the roof, maybe water leaks in the actual building walls. So quite a lot of applications for thermal imaging in building diagnosis. But there's something special, guys. Research and development. We've got quite a few universities and customers using our thermal imagers for microprocessor-based, PC board-based, and other types of research and development temperature measurements. But there's something that's very special, guys, which is part of building and electrical. It's, you've guessed it, solar. We can also look at solar panel-based problems, solar system-based problems. In this case, you can see there's abnormal heat in those two cells. Those two cells are starting to fail. So you can really do very good preventative maintenance diagnosis on your solar installation at your house, on your commercial building, or if you actually are an owner of a solar plant. And how do we do it? We do it with our thermal imager range. And we also got the Fluke Connect database platform that actually helps you to, number one, store all your photos centrally, connect them to assets, and then also connect your field team via the app in the phone to your Fluke Connect database. So centralized storage for multiple work teams, which we'll discuss a little bit later. Okay. Something that is very important in our days and time is the power quality and energy analysis tools. Because guys, let's face it, there's not enough energy in the world. We need to work sparingly with it, and we need to really determine if the quality of the supply from our power utility or the actual current-based distortion devices like variable speed drives, switch mode power supplies in our own plant can cause quite havoc in our in the energy network. Okay, so first, you must determine what are you looking for. If you want to do energy savings, then typically we've got for logging, we've got the Fluke 1732, 1734 series of power analyzers, power quality analyzers. Or if you want to go to a harsh environment, or we want to do additional functionality, then we've got our Fluke 1742, which you'll see does not have a screen. So this is popular with consultants and electrical technicians that actually needs to do some energy saving measurements and maybe look at the load itself. This is more for power utility type customers where they don't need they want to log remotely via the Wi-Fi, built-in Wi-Fi hotspot functionality, or connect this via the fiber optic network or the actual copper-based substation network into a network where they can log in remotely. If you want to look at power quality problems, typically now we are looking at the 1736, 1746, and now we can also introduce you guessed it, the Fluke 434, which is basically one of our workhorses that's been in the market for many years. If you want to inspect power quality event waveforms, the 1738 and then the 1748 and the 435-2 is the tools to use. In this case, you can do IEC 1555. Sorry. In this case, you've got additional firmware you can load to actually conform to the additional reporting for power quality event waveform analysis. If you then want to go to standards, according to the standards class A reporting, then 1748 and then our the 435 with the GPS synchronization module is used. And something that's quite unique with Fluke is we've got the Fluke 438, which actually does energy loss calculator based on your excuse me, active, reactive power, line losses, voltage imbalance, and neutral losses. But this unit as well, based on the nameplate of the actual motor, remember the motor is electromechanical. Based on the electrical nameplate, we can also do mechanical measurements as well without disconnecting the motor. So we can do torque-based measurements with the unit as well. Very popular with industrial customers with quite a lot of motors that they use in the field. Okay, last but not least on energy and power quality analysis is the software. We've got a comprehensive software suite that actually will help you to download the data from your actual test set. It will help you to analyze the data, and it will help you to generate reports. So this is the Energy Analyze Plus software. And as you can see, number one, you've got a project manager. This is typically all the information on the actual test set use, serial number, number of logs, and quite a lot of information, thermal images, images of the actual plant itself or the substation. So here you actually put all your documentation type information. Then if you do energy study, we can do power quality study. We can do even more advanced, more in-depth parameters if you need to, and then we generate reports. So this is just an example of the actual power quality study. We are looking at the different types of harmonic distortion, and now we actually got a graphical representation of that as well. So harmonics. Okay. So very nice software. We do quite in-depth training on this. So you're welcome to contact me, and I mean, if you really want good training and overview on our power quality products portfolio and in the software as well. Last but not least, guys, we've got it excites me a lot, the connected teams of Fluke Connect system. So how does this work? We've got the Fluke Connect platform that collects, stores, and makes viewable machine data for more than 80 Fluke tools and sensors in the field. So if you have a look here, we've got our field instruments and teams. Then we've got the asset management team sitting in a centralized location or an office. And then we've got the Fluke desktop reports, maybe some technicians or people that need to generate reports. So how does this work? Number one, you've got the Fluke Connect enabled tool in the field, which can be our multimeter clamp meter range. Most of our tools can be power quality, it can be thermal imager. We then connect via Wi-Fi, typically Wi-Fi to the thermal imager, Bluetooth to the actual hand tools themselves, or standard installation tools, and also Wi-Fi to some of our power quality analyzers and some of the other tools as well. That then connects to our phone. This is our technician in the field. We've got multiple technicians, so he's now logging data from this tool he's using through the Bluetooth connectivity to the phone, and from his phone he's got the Fluke Connect app, and he can now push data to the Fluke Connect cloud. So the Fluke Connect cloud is the central data pool, where then he can also get data pushed to him, or he can share information with colleagues, or share information with his manager, or someone can generate reports as that information hits this cloud space in real time. It can be associated with assets as well. You can look at asset aging. So you can do a real asset pool here. And if you've got multiple teams on multiple sites, the big benefit is all this information goes into the cloud in real time, and you can then do centralized reporting to one management team from multiple teams in the field, and you can generate reports from Fluke Connect desktop platform itself. So we've got mobile access, we've got desktop access, we've got collaboration between teams. They can actually video call each other. They can share information with each other. They can share information with their manager. And what do? We actually record data through the phone to the cloud. We can then do graphical information on the phone. We can store that graphical information in the cloud. And the nice thing is all your data is secure in one location from multiple teams in the field. So guys, just to finish off, We've got a comprehensive catalog on all our Fluke tools in the industrial group. So it's the 2020-2021 catalog or product guide. All the products are in this guide. Quite a lot of comprehensive description next to each of the products. And you can use this QR code to actually download this actual product guide from our website. So that's it from me. Let's move over to the questions. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I can tell you one thing, Fluke tools, you cannot go wrong going with the Fluke Connect platform and the connected tools connecting your teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Hendrik, for this nice presentation. So time for questions, guys. So if you have any questions, so you can use the chat box or the Q&A session. So you can type your question, and Hendrik and me will try to answer those questions. So if you are asking about the prices of different products, so you can ask, you can contact us directly, or you can also ask your our channel partner in that country, and they will provide you the price. Okay, question about the different ranges of thermal imaging. So we have 3 different ranges, which is performance, professional, and expert. And depend on your application, we can also help you to identify what thermal camera it can be used, and what specification you should have it on your thermal imaging camera. Okay.
Okay.
So I think if everything is clear and we don't have more questions, let's wait just a couple of minutes, and if there is any question coming up, so we'll answer those questions. So we have a question from Mr. Sardar asking about how we can get cloud that you expanded it. So I think, are you speaking about Fluke Connect applications?
Okay, I'll
Yes.
take this question. Okay, so the first thing is you need to have the Fluke Connect enabled tools. That's step 1. Step 2 is you can download the Fluke Connect enabled app from the App Store or the Play Store, and you must install that on your phone. Then you'll use your phone. You open the app. You will then start the actual Bluetooth on the actual test equipment. Then you will be able to pick up the Bluetooth signal that this test instrument is sending, and then you will connect your phone to the instrument. Your phone, to actually enable the app, you will be asked to put a username and password, so typically an email address and a password. And as soon as you do that, Fluke automatically creates an account for you in the cloud, on the Fluke Cloud, Fluke Connect Cloud. And then what happens is your phone is immediately connected to the Fluke Connect Cloud. So whatever you are doing on your phone, you are maybe doing a measurement from the instrument and you want to save it then from your phone, immediately you save the data into your personal cloud space that Fluke has given to you. So that is the operation. So number one, you need to have the tools that's enabled. Number two, you need a smartphone that can, with the app on it. And number three, you need to then use have a username and password, then to start using the app, and then automatically from Fluke, you will have an account with cloud space available. So, and that's all for free. There's no cost to that.
Can you take practice course in the site field? Yes. So we can provide the training on different product. Let's say operational training on the purchased product, but also we can provide an advanced training on some of the product. And if you want also to have more details, it means how to use a product on your facility, and we can also provide that kind of training.
Yep. Sorry.
So guys, if you have any more questions, so please let us know. Okay. I think it's okay. So we can close the webinar. So thank you for attending this webinar, and hope also we'll meet you at your facility next time, and also hope we'll do more webinars, and also you'll attend one of our new upcoming webinars. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Hendrik. Thank you, guys from Energy and Utilities. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Keep well.